Yo, what up, world? Back for another one, episode 2. It's the Wrap Up Podcast. I'm fresh, that's Steph.
What up, world?
Man, so today we're gonna get right into it again. I wanted to talk about the top 5 comedians of all time.
The funnies.
The people who make us laugh the most, man. So now I wasn't sure, but you brought up a good point just a few minutes ago. We can do our individual top 5, but I really think because eventually we ain't gonna agree on all of them, but to spark up a little debate, let's do a consensus top 5.
Okay.
Of our top 5 favorite comedians of all time. So a guy who we believe is probably gonna be in everybody's top 5. He's in most comedians' top 5. Start off with a gimme is Richard Pryor.
Oh, no doubt.
Richard Pryor.
No doubt.
Man, so a lot of people have him as the best comedian of all time, which is, is definitely arguable. But one thing's for sure is he's a solidified legend in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Solidified legend. One thing that made, in my opinion, Richard so dynamic was he always came off genuine and believable. Yeah. Richard, of course, so many comedians give you a piece of themselves, but Richard Pryor always felt like by the time he was done, you knew him.
Yeah.
He didn't feel like a superstar. He never felt like, I obviously, because I didn't grow up in that era, I had to always go back and watch him. But I felt like Richard was just one of my uncles who I was listening to. He didn't feel like this bigger than, normal star. He just felt like somebody you could just come and talk to on the porch. Or, at one of the family functions, this dude who just recalling his stories, just wilding out. Yeah. That was the best part about Richard Pryor for me, man.
I agree, man. Even when he would talk about his story, his grandmother ran a brothel and growing up in Peoria, just to be so transparent. And his best work came after he caught himself on fire.
Yeah,
a lot of people say.
Oh man, that's true. That's one of my favorite Richard Pryor stories.
So when we doing this list, we going full resume? Are we gonna do stand up? We gonna do movies? Or we just doing straight just comedic value?
I think you gotta do the whole thing.
Okay.
Now
do the movies drop him down?
Even still, the stand-up was so dope.
Okay.
It might drop him down, but it can't drop him out my top 5.
Oh, no doubt.
Can't drop him out the top 5.
Gotcha.
I feel like the movies got to be a part of it. The movies, the TV shows, and all of that. Obviously, the stand-up is what will be most centered around.
And his TV show is Chappelle Show before Chappelle Show.
True. And here's the thing: is so many things that he did, so many things that he ushered to the forefront of comedy has been recycled. People put their own spin on it and, put their own stamp or their stance on it. But everything, I'm not going to say everything, but so much of what makes comedy so relevant today, it has been something that they probably adapted from Richard Pryor.
Yeah, as they say, he fathered a lot of sons.
He did.
He fathered a lot of sons.
Speak on it. Definitely, man. So I just feel like so much that he did is still prevalent in the game today. So many people continuously acknowledge him and give him props, and rightfully so, because what he did was amazing.
Yeah, wasn't nobody cursing in their comedy.
Nah.
If they were, they wasn't as open as he was with their cursing.
Right. It's probably Red Fox.
Well, he cursed, but he was more of the line of that boom comedy.
He was still slashing.
That
I dig it.
That I went to the store and the cash register didn't open. So what I do? That kind of comedy. It wasn't personal.
He was a little bit more slashing.
Kind of vaudevillian, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, it was personal. Richard was just so dynamic in the way that he told a story, and it was that. I guess that's the reason why you felt like you knew him. Yeah, he was a great storyteller. He made his jokes come to life with how vivid they were and how much he was able to express things and make you felt like you was there. So then when you retold the story, it was like, oh man, it was like that's what my homie Richard told me. He never felt like a superstar to me, man. man.
All right.
That's why he definitely would have to be in my top 5.
So Rich is in the top 5.
Rich is definitely top 5.
Eddie.
Oh, of course.
Eddie.
Of course, Eddie is top
Eddie.
5. Eddie might be number 1.
Woo!
Me personally, if I have to rank them, it's tough. But I actually got Eddie number 2.
Okay.
And we'll talk later about who
I got an
number
Eddie
1.
bias though. You know, I got an
know
Eddie
you do.
bias, man.
I know you do. Eddie Murphy is definitely in my top 5. I barely have him over Richard Pryor.
Okay, and he only had 2 stand-ups, right? 2 stand-up specials, if you will.
Yeah,
Raw and Delirious. Classics.
Both classics. In all honesty, I think he probably has the best stand-up segment that I've ever seen. I mean, like I said, I have another comedian ahead of him. Okay. But not necessarily the stand-up.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the stand-up. And we'll get into, the intricacies a little bit later. But...
So he's another one from that Richard school of thought.
Oh, for sure.
You know, where he was more personal on stage.
Oh,
his father,
Lillian. That's his Mr. Lillian. Oh, man. That's the goddamn phone, nigga. Eddie Murphy is, the dude is, he is just absolutely hilarious. He's the same way, but Eddie was fucking famous.
Yeah.
Eddie was famous. He did so much. His star power was ridiculous. He was able to do so much, but he was always still personable. When he stepped on that stage, he was telling that joke to you.
Yeah.
There was 1,000 other people there.
I agree.
1,000 other people watching on TV, but Eddie was still telling that joke to you.
I agree.
No matter how big he became, no matter how big his star was, Eddie was still very personal when he got on that stage. That's what made him very Richard-like. Yep. And he just found a way to put his own spin on it. Because you can hear and see the different things that he adapted from Richard, but it was still him. Yeah. It's different when you pattern your game or you take different things from somebody and then you try to replicate exactly what they do. Yeah, for
Kobe
sure.
Mike.
It's like Kobe had it down to a science as to where he was walking like this man.
You're right.
He was shooting like this man. You know what I'm saying? But what Eddie did was he studied Richard, you can tell, and from what he said, he studied Richard, but he put his own spin on it. So then when you saw it, you would say, oh, that's Eddie. But then you can see the underlying layers of what he got from Richard. So,
I agree.
Eddie Murphy for sure was a
star. I'm gonna say he is a star.
No,
because his movie game from, let's say, 85, 84, 86, whenever Trading Places came out. Yeah. And we can even go into the ones that they said was flopping before the Clumps, before Nutty Professor. He was bodying.
Oh,
Boomerang.
He was killing the box office. Boomerang was crazy.
He was bodying.
Coming to America.
Of course.
Where was the flops? What, in the late 80s?
You know, people claim the flops were in that Beverly Hills 3 era.
Beverly Hills Cop was cold to me. 3, they got progressively worse. Yeah. They got progressively
1 and 2
worse.
was dope.
1 and 2 was cold.
Wally World can go.
Okay.
Was it Wally World or Wonder World? Whatever it is, it can go. It can go.
I know what
it can go.
That could go. And he has some stuff in the 2000s that could go, but I mean,
even the stuff in the 2000s was dope to me. 1,000 Words was funny, but I'm an Eddie fan, so I can find the comedy in what he's doing.
Is still Life is the best comedy to me. A lot of people say Coming to America.
Yeah,
Life is the pinnacle of comedy.
I give Life that third leg. Coming to America, Running Anchor.
Yeah, I ain't mad. Harlem Nights. Yeah. He was in Harlem Nights too.
He directed Harlem Nights. Yeah. And people called that a flop. That's a cult classic.
How? I don't understand how it was a flop. It was.
You know, sometimes genius is held to a certain standard that you don't appreciate it in the moment.
Until afterwards, yeah. Like the Wire.
Then years down, absolutely.
Yeah.
Then years down the road, you looking and you like, okay, this was some good work. We've all seen a movie that was like, this was horrible when it came out, but you watch it every time it come on now because it's not even for nostalgia, but it's just you appreciate it. Yeah. Maybe your mind is a little bit different. Maybe he was ahead of our plane.
Yeah, that's very true.
But Eddie and Richard for sure.
Eddie and Richard is in there for sure. this one, you know what? But and instead of just going through the five, let's just name comedians, and then we'll say whether or not they in our five or not.
Okay.
Oh, and we'll come up with our consensus.
So,
that way.
Do you want to go with the obscure, or you want to go with they in the top 5? Let's just put them there because we know.
Obviously, I think we'll name the guys who are at the forefront of comedy, and then if we agree or disagree, then we'll move on and name somebody else.
Okay, Rock.
See how that go. That's exactly where I was going next.
Okay.
That's exactly where I was going next. So, Chris Rock would probably be in my 5.
I think that it may be a flip-flop day for me, depending on how I'm feeling. He may be an honorable mention. He's dope, but I think it's some that doesn't have the acclaim that Rock has, that I may put ahead of Rock.
I dig it. So, and I'm with you on that. I see your wheel spinning. And
okay.
I know some people who would probably be there. But the resume is dope.
The stand-up alone is dope.
And it's so many.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I love about Chris Rock is he's got a nice catalog.
Very nice.
Of stand-up. And I feel like being a comedian, it's nice to have a nice catalog of stand-up specials. You know, like we just talked about. Eddie was a huge star.
Yeah.
And he got a bunch of comedy movies. And he broke off into TV. I mean, the man had an album. But he only got 2 specials.
Yeah.
Chris Rock got... I can't even name how many specials he got.
Bigger and Blacker. He got at least 7.
Then the latest one, Tambourine, was dope.
Tambourine was dope. That's a Netflix joint,
dope.
right?
Yeah,
Tambourine was dope.
Tambourine was dope. So,
even his movies are good to me.
Pootie
Tang is a classic. I think
I
think I Love My Wife, man.
I Think I Love My Wife is dope. Super dope movie.
Dope.
And I mean, even movies where he wasn't the star, like New Jack City.
Yeah.
That's his breakout role, right?
Yeah. But a lot of the stuff he's done in terms of acting, other than his show, was based more upon his friends. You know, Adam Sandler, David Spade. They all get together and be in each other movies.
That was cold to me.
Yeah.
It's a different type of comedy that he has from when he's doing his own specials and doing his own thing.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
I
completely agree.
I still like them. It's more of a family-oriented comedy, but he's still that funny that he can keep you engaged, even though it's different from his normal beaten path.
Yeah.
And again, he's another dude who can take his personal experiences and make you feel like you're right there with him.
Okay, I see that.
What Chris Rock, I always felt was just so distinctive in his delivery and with the way that he drew you in on stage.
His setup game is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It is amazing.
The joke where he talks about how old black men are racist. Yeah. And they in the stop sign, he can't let the white man know that he can read the stuff. The setup for that is spectacular, man.
It's cold. The dude is amazing. It's very amazing. He's definitely one who I believe is. He took nuances from other people, but he always put it still never really felt like anybody else to me. I mean, he says that he took stuff from Richard Pryor and George Carlin.
That's why I see more of him as Carlin. I see more Carlin.
I definitely see more Carlin than Richard Pryor, but it always just felt like Chris Rock.
Yeah,
you know, it all. Not saying that he didn't take things from other people, but when I watched him, I always felt like I'm watching Chris Rock instead. Whereas to where it can be other comedians where I see them, I'm listening to them, and I say, oh, okay, I see another comedian who was before him in him. Yeah. So I felt like he always found a way to have his own lane.
Okay, so we can put Chris in that 5 until we bring up some
until he get knocked off.
So he's in there for now. Chappelle.
That's my number 1.
Okay.
Chappelle is definitely my number 1.
Okay, so why Chappelle number 1?
One reason Chappelle is my number 1 is because I got a chance to grow up in the Chappelle era. So it's like when Eddie was really popping, I wasn't even a thought. You know, Eddie. I mean, I was born in '87, so Eddie was already, by the time I came out and got a chance to really start digesting.
Yeah,
comedy,
he wasn't wearing leather no more.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no more red leather suits on.
I remember Eddie Leather.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that, so I had to go back and get Eddie. I had to go back and get Richard. You know, it's different for Chris Rock. I mean, I still got a chance to see, you know, him when he was at, not necessarily say at his peak. Chris Rock is one of those dudes where he could just pick it up whenever he wants to, and it's gonna be a hit.
Mm-hmm.
As to where Dave Chappelle, I got a chance to watch Dave Chappelle, you know, grow up through his comedy,
okay.
You know,
so you saw the maturation.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And one of my favorite movies still is Blue Streak.
And
he wasn't even the star, but he has so many moments in Blue Streak where I was like, this dude is hilarious.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about the Chappelle show.
Yep.
I tuned in for every moment.
Every moment.
Chappelle's show was must see TV.
Mm-hmm.
Day in and day out.
Yep.
Every time it came on, it was you always knew you was gonna get a great show. Your ribs was gonna hurt, your face was gonna hurt because he was just that funny.
Yeah.
That's another dude where his dynamic, his delivery, his setup.
Yeah, his setup game is
so
ridiculous.
Dope.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, just from the last special that he had, he talked about how cold he is
Yeah.
with his setup. He said, I can put jokes, I put the punchline in the fishbowl and just pull one out. He said, I'm that motherfucking nice with it. And he is. And this dude is just, Dave Chappelle is definitely in my top. He's my number one.
What I like about Chappelle is his ability to, once again, tell a story, to narrate a story, and to say profound things in a way where you're not expecting it to come, and when it's over, you like, my man says he's dropped some
jewels on you.
You know what I'm saying?
He's not gonna make my top 5. I highly doubt he makes yours, but just because of that,
Carrot Top.
Hell, stop it. Another dude who will, I can't believe you just said Carrot Top. Another dude who will drop some jewels on you, but is wrapped in comedy is Eddie Griffin.
You're right.
He's not gonna make my top 5.
You're right.
He ain't gonna make my top 10, but Eddie Griffin will drop some jewels on you in a minute. But
his is more overt
than
Chappelle's.
Yeah,
Chappelle slithered that stuff in, man.
And then you just, it's like you're laughing at it, and then you be like, wait a minute.
It's like Chappelle making a cake, and you like, is this vanilla or caramel? This is something, but I can't place what it is.
And then you come back 15 minutes, it's red velvet. It's red velvet. Yeah, those two dudes are definitely drop some jewels on you. But it's, man, the way that he grew up throughout his comedy, again, Killing Me Softly is still amazing. It's
ridiculous.
Still an amazing stand. That's probably my favorite stand up from Dave. But he did so much, man, with the Chappelle show, and then the movies that he's been in. Half Baked is I don't even like weed. Didn't never really even get into smoking weed. It's still a funny movie.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's some movies like, okay, I was just having a debate with one of my homies on Facebook, and he was talking about like How High was such a great movie. I didn't think so.
No, How High was wild.
I was like, maybe it's because I don't smoke weed.
Yeah.
But Half Baked was hilarious.
Half Baked was funny.
Half Baked was hilarious.
But I didn't really appreciate Half Baked till like my college years.
Oh yeah, I was in high school, and that's when I started to appreciate Half Baked.
Cause I think it came out, I want to say 97. I'm not sure.
Definitely in the 90s.
But 97, I was a sophomore or junior. So maybe 5 years after that, when I'm in college, I'm developed, and I watch. I'm like, this is genius.
It was.
This is genius.
It was hilarious, man. It was. Dave is definitely. He's got to be in the 5.
Yeah.
He's
he's
number 1 for me.
He's in there.
Dave barely edges out Eddie, and he's number 1.
Okay. Cos. Now everybody know me. I am a Bill Cosby connoisseur.
Yes, you are.
I mean connoisseur.
Yeah.
But I do understand. Not even talking about the latest allegations and everything that's going on. I do understand how a lot of people don't like Bill.
the stand-up didn't do it for me. To me, and my thing is, he is amazing for what he was able to do for movies and both in front of the camera and behind it. The Cosby Show is still one of the best shows ever.
Absolutely.
I don't think you can take that away from him. The stand-up wasn't there for me.
So what about the stand-up that didn't resonate? Is it the era, maybe?
It may have been the era, but even still, it was people from that era who still had good stand-up that still made me laugh. It just, Bill didn't do it. Stand-up.
Bill stand-ups are hilarious.
You think so?
Yes. Yes.
I think Bill needed other people. For me, I can only speak for myself. Bill needed other people around him, and then you can see just how funny he is.
Okay.
Meaning, and it didn't matter if it was just other actors or other comedians. I think Bill shined more when it was competition. Up there by himself, it was just like.
And even old man Bill Cosby stand up. Hello Friend was hilarious, but it's an acquired taste. It's more of, do you like the Challenger or do you like the Camaro? You know, it's kind of an acquired taste. Bill Cosby, to me, his comedy is more of, it's the end of that slapstick vaudeville. It's kind of the end of that, and more of a, when that retrospective political climate was in tune, but I'm gonna kind of stray away from that and stay in this. So it's a lot of intricate stuff if you go back and listen to Bill stuff. I'm not saying it because I'm a Bill fan.
I'm gonna have to.
His stuff, I mean, the not the stuff that we know. Bill Cosby himself, everybody know him sitting in the brown doo-doo suit in the chair. Yeah, that's the Bill Cosby everybody talk about. Right. Everybody talk about the today we going. That's a caricature that people made of Bill. Exactly. If you listen to his records where he talk about his brother growing up in Philly, dropping out of high school, that stuff is gold.
I'm gonna revisit.
Gold.
I'm gonna revisit. Just off the strength of everything else that he does has always been profound and it's always captivated me. You put Bill Cosby in a room with other comedians, he's going to shine. Yeah. When I watch Bill on stage, he just doesn't do it for me. But I'm gonna revisit.
But I'm gonna be honest. Based upon the comedians that we've went over and those that we have to introduce, he's not in my top 5.
Alright, so we got a consensus.
Yeah, he's not in my top 5.
Bill is a legend.
He's not in my top 5.
Not in my top 5.
Not in my top 5.
Not in my top 5. Alright, cool.
Alright.
So, no Bill. This one, I believe, is probably not going to make the top 5. But I got to toss him out there just because he's just that dope. In my opinion. Martin Lawrence.
Martin is not in my top 5, and I'm gonna tell you why. Martin survived. Funny cat. So America, don't get me wrong, funny cat. But Martin survived off You So Crazy and the Martin Show. His 2 stand-ups after that, to me,
Run Tell That,
and
Run Tell That was dope.
And what was the one he got on the black leather? Whoever the one was after that one, I can't think of the name. It escapes you right now. They were funny.
Gotta look it up.
But it wasn't nothing new to me. Now Martin's,
he was funny on Def Jam.
Yeah,
hosting Def Jam.
Yeah, but that's not comedy. That's a host. That's not you doing the whole set.
That's true.
So what Martin claimed to fame to me, what made me say he was dope, was not more of what he said, more of what he did. So the physicality of his comedy, the facial expressions. Yeah. You know, it's what
you get that a lot with Dave too.
Yeah.
You get that a lot with Dave.
Yeah.
But you can listen to audio clips of Dave. And he's still gonna make you laugh. Yeah. I'm not saying that Martin can't. Because Martin, first of all, to me, the best TV show ever. Is Martin.
I can agree.
The best sitcom ever is Martin. A lot of people say Fresh Prince was better. Give me Martin. And Martin was way more relatable for me.
Yeah.
So I mean, and Fresh Prince was hilarious. It was dope. It gave you, the highs and the lows and all of that. give me Fresh Prince. I mean, give me Martin.
I think
Martin over the Cosby Show.
Martin's genius to me was it laid within, once again, we talked about the physicality and the facial expression, all of that, but the way he was able to enunciate, to make words sound more extravagant, that's where his genius lies in presentation, if you will. Not so much content, but presentation. Not saying his content was bad, but more so in the presentation.
I get it.
The characters he played, it wasn't really what they were saying, it's what they were doing. Dragonfly Jones, it's what he was doing. Jerome, it's what he was doing. You know? So if you think about it, it's more of that physical play that, I don't want to say, but I'm going to say it, that Robin Williams kind of funny.
I dig that. That's
you know?
Not, and that's
not a knock.
No,
that's not a knock at all.
That's dope. So he doesn't make my top 5.
Okay. I agree.
But he probably makes my 10. Just because that's another one where I got to watch him in his moment.
Okay.
So that those guys, because I got to digest it in real time, it always
I'm not mad at that. It
makes it a little bit better for me, you know. So I mean, I guess that's my own personal bias, but
so I'm gonna say Martin for me he's blinking in between that top 10, top 15 range.
Okay, I ain't mad at that.
He's at that range.
I ain't mad at that.
Bernie
probably makes my top 5.
Okay.
Probably some Chicago bias there. But Bernie,
can't recall a special.
No. But again,
I don't even think he had a special if I think about it. Yeah.
He probably didn't. But again, you put Bernie in a room full of other comedians, Bernie is going to shine.
Different type of funny too, though.
Definitely a different type of funny. Bernie will probably make other comedians uncomfortable.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt.
Going before or after him.
No doubt.
Just because he's in the room.
Yeah.
He's just that good.
Yeah, no doubt. I
like Bernie because his delivery, he always reminded me of my father. I just see Bernie when I hear and when I see Bernie Mac, he always reminded me of my father.
His style was effortless.
It was
effortless.
And that's the reason why it is. It's because my father, my father ain't trying to be funny, but he always said funny shit to me. It always just came off like Bernie Mac. So Bernie was always dope.
Okay.
The actual show, super underrated.
I agree.
That show is extremely underrated.
I agree.
It was that show was super dope.
Okay, I agree. Not a lot in terms of movies we can go by or stand up. I mean stand up specials.
Like, the Ocean's 11. Life.
Yeah. But he did a lot of work within the circuit, if you will, in terms of his sets. He has a lot of classic sets.
He definitely does.
The I Ain't Scared of You and Memphis set. You know,
Def Jam.
He got a lot of sets out there that's classic and probably comparable to some of the greatest specials.
Yeah.
So Bernie, is he in my top 5? As of right now, I'ma hold off. Pending on who we got next. We got 3. We got 3 solidified already.
Yeah.
Eddie, Dave, and Richard.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that 3.
I'm cool with that 3. Bernie probably makes my 5 right now.
Okay.
We'll see how the rest of this show goes.
Okay.
But Bernie is probably in my 5 right now.
Okay. Jerry Seinfeld.
Again, Jerry Seinfeld didn't really do it for me with the stand-up. But his ability to play a character or play off of people, Seinfeld is an amazing show. Very much so. Very much so. Again, you put him in an arena or on a show, on a set with other comedians, and he shines because his ability to improv and to be able to feed off of other people and be able to pull jokes out that's really what makes Jerry funny. And another thing that I really liked about Jerry is his sound is timeless, but he was still finding ways to be able to adapt. Like even now, I heard it might be a few years old now, but I heard some Jerry Seinfeld stand up, and he was just like at probably like some small little local club in New York, and he was still cold. He was still killing them. Jerry Seinfeld doesn't get enough props.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jerry Seinfeld is different for our culture in the way that he delivered in our type of funny, if you can say. But Jerry Seinfeld has gold.
I didn't appreciate Jerry until my 30s.
Yeah.
I'm 36 now. I didn't appreciate Jerry till I was older.
Gotcha.
I'm not watching that show. The color of the show just didn't look right to me. Everything looked beige and brown. Yeah. I don't know why, but I didn't mess with the show. But the older that I got and the more mature, if you will, my thinking became, and the more I'm able to decipher and maneuver around this world, I'm saying, let me watch Seinfeld one day.
Yeah.
Watched it, enjoyed it. I binge watched all 8 seasons.
Wow.
All 8 or 9 seasons. How many he had, I binge watched them all.
I love it.
Netflix, comedians driving in cars getting coffee, whatever the name of the show is, I'll binge watch those. Seinfeld, to me, is one of the smartest,
he is,
dopest comedians. A lot of people go, but what's the deal with that? They go, yeah, that's the character.
Yeah.
But his stuff, genius.
It is. He don't get enough love in our community.
Absolutely not.
But you know what? I don't even think it's necessarily because people say, "Oh, Jerry Seinfeld whack," or I don't think people. I'm gonna say us. I don't think we gave Jerry a chance, and it just kind of got written off.
Yeah.
If you give Jerry Seinfeld a chance, Jerry has gold. Jerry.
I agree.
Gold.
I agree.
He ain't making my top 5.
I think Wale may have helped him a little bit in our culture.
He probably did.
Yeah.
He probably did. I will say this. I was on Jerry before Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Because of my father. My father used to love watching Seinfeld. So I was like, what is this? And then I watched it with him and I was like, no, this dude is hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But yeah, the album About Nothing, the mixtape
About Nothing.
Ushering in Jerry Seinfeld into that definitely probably introduced him to.
And he a sneakerhead, so
he is.
The culture sleeping. Yeah, the culture sleep. His shot game is crazy.
It is. It is.
So Jerry, I wouldn't put him in my top 5 either. He's in that. I may put him higher than Martin.
Oh, he ain't going higher than Martin.
I may put him higher than Martin.
I probably got Jerry top 20.
Okay.
He might be. He's definitely in that 15 to 20 range, probably for me.
Okay.
Jerry's 15 to 20 range.
All right. Ari Spears.
Ari Spears is ridiculously talented. I don't think it's enough there when it comes to the product. I guess you could say the product that hit the masses because he got a lot of stuff.
I think he rubs a lot of people the wrong way.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
Ari Spears is his ability to mimic other people was always over the top dope, but he comes off so disgruntled.
Yeah.
As to where it's just like, well, I can be better than him or do better than him. I hear that too much from Ari Spears, but he cold. The dude is super dope.
He's
great at what he do. But to me, it was never enough.
I agree.
He's that dude who had a bunch of acclaim getting drafted, and then he got in the league, and it was just, he's nice.
Yeah, you played for a long time.
He's Mike Beasley.
Yeah.
He's Michael Beasley.
I give him a little bit better than Beasley, man.
He got drafted real high, and I thought a lot was going to happen, and then he just is like, he nice, but he'll get you 15 and 5. He going to be efficient, but it's just like, he's there. Ari Spears is cold, though. The talent is undeniable.
Undeniable.
But I don't even know he make my top 20.
Yeah, I'm kind of iffy. I don't know
if he makes my top 20.
I don't know.
I don't know if he make my 20.
I can't even. I don't want to say Aries is an incomplete because he's been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah.
But
that's my thing. It's like now, it's at the point now. It's like it's not like, oh well, man, I need to see more from him. Now it's just like, okay, well, will we ever have anything that'll change my mind? And that's what I don't think we'll get.
No, we're not gonna
He's
get
always
that.
when you hear him, when you see him, you know it's gonna be dope. He's going to make you laugh. But is he ever gonna do anything to make you move him up a notch now? I doubt it.
No,
I doubt it. What at this
so.
point he's solidified with what he is and what he gonna get.
Okay. Patrice.
I knew he was going there next. That's a dude who we didn't get a chance to see enough of.
My man's
Patrice
comedic
O'Neal.
gold.
Patrice O'Neal is definitely in my top 20.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Scratch that. Patrice O'Neal is definitely in my top 10. But he's not cracking my top 5. Patrice, you talk about a dude with the ability to tell a story.
Oh my goodness.
Patrice O'Neal might be the most underrated comedian ever.
Yep, I agree. Elephant in the Room is classic material.
Oh,
classic material.
By far. He might be the most underrated comedian ever. And then the fact that he got taken, the fact that he passed away is tough. So obviously you won't get any more. But if you don't know about Patrice O'Neal and you thinking like, oh, how could you have him in your top 10?
Yeah.
Or even consider him in your top 5. If you saying that, you ain't heard enough of Patrice O'Neal.
Patrice O'Neal to me is Reggie Lewis. Reggie Lewis was on the verge of being sick. Like, Reggie Lewis was that guy in Boston.
Yeah.
And he was only in the league, 3 years?
Something like that.
And then the tragedy befell.
Yeah.
So
that's a very good analogy. I like that.
Because Reggie had 2 All-Stars at that point.
Yeah.
So Patrice, he's in my top 12, 10, 12.
I like that range.
10, 12. Patrice is in there.
I like that range.
Mr. Hart. He's not in my top 5 nor 10.
He was. I say this. His stand-up is good, in my opinion. He was trending downward because some of the movies just didn't do it for me. But his last stand-up, I got a chance to go see him live earlier this year.
Yeah,
I think it was earlier this year.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
And I figured it would be because he had content to talk about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he had content.
He's another one who can definitely tell a story. He definitely pulls you in. But he's one the greatest comedians. You can listen to them, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
You have to see Kevin Hart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kevin Hart is like you said with Martin.
That Martin. Yep.
The character that he creates when he's moving around and the oh no, you gotta see the face with it. And it just makes him even more funny. But Kevin Hart, he got the game sewn up right now when it comes to comedy. He probably makes my top 10.
Yeah. So
I don't know. That one might be tough. He's there. He's there. At top 10, I retract that statement. Maybe not top 10. But Kevin Hart has done, in my opinion, so much in a short amount of time. It's no way you cannot put his name up there. Where he falls, I don't know. He in the rafters though.
I don't know.
He in the rafters for me.
Starting out, Kevin Hart's arrow was up for me.
Okay.
I remember seeing his first stand up, the first big one when he did the all right. Yeah. I saw that one at the Chicago Theater.
Okay.
It's not Laugh at My Pain. Oh, I forget what it is, but his first big one. But then
I think it was Laugh at My Pain.
Was it? I don't know, but the 2 after that, I believe. So Grown Little Man was dope. The one that I saw was dope, but then his next 3 was rehashes off that.
Yeah.
That all right.
So what is it? Not Look at Me Now.
Seriously Funny and all of those.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It was. I think he was trying to do so much in such a little bit of time. Then he had the comedy specials, and then he was doing so many movies. And I think his content was spread kind of thin, like you said. This last one, he came back, he had more content, he had more to talk about. I think he was trying to do so much, he was trying to touch so many different things that it kind of spread thin, and it was just like, it was tolerable, it was okay.
Yeah,
it wasn't great. And in the beginning he really captivated us because what he was doing was great, and then it just kind of plateaued. I ain't even gonna say plateaued. It kind of came down a little bit.
He's probably in that 15-20 range for me. He's not.
I'm not
nowhere,
mad at that.
Nowhere
I'm
near
not mad
my
at
top
that.
10.
I would have to get a big list of them. It would be hard for me to put him outside of the top 20 because again, this is somebody who I got a chance to watch over and over and over through through a span of years. So he's not in my top 5.
Okay.
He's out of my 5. But
you give him an honorable mention? I'm not.
It's so many. It's hard. Nah, he probably doesn't get one. But the talent is undeniable. He's there.
Red Fox.
Him being way before my time hurts. The show was amazing.
Yeah.
But even when Harlem Nights was amazing. It was points in Harlem Nights where he absolutely stole the show. Where, it's like with the movie, it's like you can't take him out and put somebody in and expect him to still do
absolutely.
What he did. But he ain't making my top 5.
He's not in my top 5 either.
He don't make my top 10. And again, it might be because he was just so much before, I was even, I wasn't twinkling my daddy eye,
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
It's a different form. It's that, like I stated earlier, it's that I went to the circus and I saw a line and I said, "Why you lying?" He said, "Lying on what? On me? Why I'm lying on you?" That kind of comment.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
So based upon what we put in our top 5 as our criteria, I can't put that.
Yeah, I can't even name one special that he had. And I'm pretty sure he has some.
He has specials, but he was more of a club and record guy. That's when everybody was just doing records. You weren't getting specials.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
you weren't getting
specials. Time for specials.
You were either in Vegas, Atlantic City,
vinyl,
Florida, or you was getting pressed in vinyl.
Yeah, and you was up there and you just smoking your cigarette with a cup of gin and ice.
So if we were to go through all the comedians in the world, we'll be doing this all day.
Yeah.
So.
Going with the heavy hitters.
We got Eddie.
Yeah.
We got Rich.
Yeah.
And we got who we say Chappelle and Rock.
Chappelle. And we didn't even put Rock.
Oh, okay, that's right. We didn't put Rock.
I'm okay with putting Rock in there. Rock makes my top 5 probably.
Do you have a sleeper that someone else may not know about, or you are a fan of that you would put in a top 5, or you hold in close regards?
Probably 2 dudes who we already said, which is Bernie and Patrice O'Neal.
Okay.
Those 2 dudes are very, very high for me. I always thought they were hilarious. Eddie Griffin probably makes my top 10.
Okay.
Just because he was always real with it. I don't know.
I would say mine would be, just going off the top right now, I got the opportunity to see Damon Wayans.
Okay.
And I was always a fan. Loved everything he did. But once I saw his comedy, was like, this dude is gold.
Yeah.
So Damon Wayans is high on the list for me.
Okay.
Damon,
that's one I definitely wouldn't expect.
Damon Wayans and Jared Carmichael.
He's very funny. And the more I see of him, the better he's getting.
It's that new wave though. It's that dry kind of monotone that Lucas Brothers kind of comedy.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's like he's definitely got a different feel and a different vibe to him. I love what he's doing. But I don't he's more of a new wave.
Yeah. We're not gonna say he on the list. On the list. He's just somebody that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because Michael Che is another one. Michael Che is hilarious.
And what he's doing for
SNL.
Yeah.
Oh,
ridiculously.
What about Morgan? Tracy Morgan. He got a lot of stand-ups out there.
Tracy Morgan probably doesn't make my top 10, but I like Tracy Morgan. I like Tracy Morgan a lot.
Top 25.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He makes my top 25. He might make my top 20. I don't know about the thing is, it's like it's a perfect example. You say, Tracy Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
That's Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
It is the fact that it's like, I almost forgot about him. But when you see him, he never disappoints.
No, he doesn't.
I can't think of a time where it's just like, man, you could have got somebody better to play this role.
Yeah.
Or you could have filled Tracy Morgan in with such and such.
Yeah.
When you see Tracy Morgan, when you hear Tracy Morgan,
I got birds for sale.
Right. You got soak them in the pork and bean juice.
No, that's not saying. That's molasses.
That's molasses. You couldn't have nobody else be Hustle Man.
Nah.
With the kazoo? No. Oh my God. Nobody else could be. Nobody else. You can't pick. You can't say, oh man, Tracy Morgan would. Somebody else could have did him better.
Yeah.
You can't. Even The Last Don. I don't know if you did you watch that? Not The Last Don. The Last OG.
Yeah. Hilarious.
That show was cold.
Hilarious.
That show was super dope.
Okay, you mentioned The Last OG. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but her wave is like
super heavy right now.
Almost on that Kevin Hart wave when he was coming up. Tiffany Haddish, how you feel about her?
I think Tiffany Haddish is funny, but I feel like the part where Kevin Hart got thinned out is happening to her even earlier than it happened to Kevin Hart.
I agree.
I think they're shoving Tiffany Haddish down our throat.
Mm-hmm.
As to where the funny thing about Tiffany Haddish is she feels like it's somebody you know right off the block.
Yeah.
And you don't always have to have somebody who's right off the block right in front of your face.
I don't find her funny.
You don't think she's funny at all?
She's funny, but I saw her stand up. She's ready. I laughed at a couple of spots, but like you mentioned, it was like I was sitting up here talking to a girl eating Takis. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what makes her funny. But I don't. It's overbearing. It's too much. I don't need that much Tiffany Haddish. I think she's dope. I think she's super talented. She got something new coming with man, I just saw it. I can't remember who it is.
The movie.
Yeah.
Not
with Kevin Hart.
Not when she the teacher.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
When he going back to night class.
Yeah, that's the name of it. Night school or night class. One of them.
Yeah. I think that might be funny. I'll probably watch it.
I'm back in the day. I saw a trailer of Mafia and thought that was funny and went to the show and was pissed. So nah.
I don't know, man. I like Tiffany Haddish.
I think Tiffany Haddish suffers what she will suffer from. God forbid that she does. I hope she grows and continue to mature her comedy. Mm-hmm. But right now, from what I've heard from her, her story is so dark and so different, especially for a woman talking about it.
Yeah.
That she rides the wave of the darkness. Even a lot of comedians do that because
Robin Williams.
Yeah, a lot of them do that. But everything that I've seen of her, from her sets to stand up, even listening to her on podcasts, it always comes back to where, I was in foster care. Her material is that, and that's all, and that's fine because that's what you grew up in. But then at a point, your pen game need to be that third eye that's going around the world.
Yeah, that's true. When you're in comedy, you have to consistently reinvent yourself or evolve from whatever you are. So her story will become redundant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more optimistic. I think that she'll find a way to reinvent herself. But because we're getting so much of her in a short period of time, she's going to have to reinvent herself quicker than she probably has to.
And what she's going to benefit from, I believe, is going to be the Melissa McCarthy effect, where she can be pigeonholed into that character and just make movie on movie on movie. Like all of Melissa McCarthy joints are all the same.
Yeah, she's the same person.
So
the same character almost.
So if that's your lane, I can't knock that.
I don't want them to put her in a box, and I feel like she is kind of helping them. Put her in a box.
Mm-hmm.
But I have faith that she can find a way to broaden her lane, so they can't just make her into this bubble comedian.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is a Tiffany Haddish niche type role. Let's just give this to her, as opposed to you can put her in a bunch of different things, like Eddie.
Yeah.
You can put Eddie in anything.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they tried to put Eddie in a box, but then,
because his drama game this last couple of years has been on point. He
gave them Dream Girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
Mr. Church.
Yeah, it's like Eddie can.
Now this man got Dolomite coming on Netflix.
That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be hella cold.
So back to Tiffany Haddish. One thing that I want Tiffany Haddish to do is to, like you mentioned, don't get stuck in this spot.
Yeah. I
want her to develop her pen game. I know in her story she used to go to Pauly Shore's mom and all them had the camp, so she went to summer camp for comedians and all that. So I know that. I want her pen game to mature because she has what it takes to be funny, but then she has what it takes to also be okay. That's Tiffany Haddish. We heard that already.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen, but I could see it happening. But like I said, I'm optimistic that she could overcome that.
Okay, and I got three more before we close out.
Okay,
and I'm just gonna spitfire the names.
Okay,
Harvey.
No.
Hughley, Cedric. Since they were the Kings. Proclaimed. Steve Harvey's not in my top 20.
Steve Harvey is not. Steve Harvey is what he was on Kings of Comedy. He can host.
Yeah.
He can give you enough to make you laugh a few times, and then you got to bring up the next dude.
Yeah.
The show was decent. I liked the show. The Steve Harvey show was funny.
He did have the funny bit though, talking about Mitch Green and Tyson.
Yeah.
So that was a funny bit.
I don't know if I can have can you give me 45 minutes of funny?
No.
I don't see it.
DL to me is more.
DL can do it. DL has done it.
He's become more of a niche political satire.
He is.
Cedric is undercover funny to me.
He is.
He's hilarious.
Cedric probably. I felt like he kind of got complacent with just being. I ain't gonna say being in the shadow because that sounds like he's not.
Steve Shadow.
Yeah. I think he
I can see that.
After the show, he kind of just was like, okay, that's his sidekick. But he was always funnier than him. He was always funnier than Steve Harvey to me. When it comes to the Kings of Comedy, he was the second funniest dude.
Yeah, behind Bernie.
To me, that's the dude who cast the shadow on all
Cedric top 20? He down
probably.
There with, no, he down there with Jeff Foxworthy.
Jeff Foxworthy. He ain't making my top 1,000. We can find if we can ride down 94 and probably find somebody funny.
Yeah,
Jeff Foxworthy. Cedric maybe makes the 20.
Okay.
DL probably makes the 20 just because I've heard more DL. DL isn't funnier than Cedric to me, but he's probably going to end up being higher on my list.
Okay.
Which probably doesn't make much sense, but I think it's just the amount of content that he has.
Okay.
As opposed to just being a sidekick. Steve don't make.
No, Steve's not in there. No.
No. George Carlin.
Top 5.
Top 5?
George Carlin's in my top 5.
George Carlin top 5? I'm not mad at that.
George Carlin is Chris Rock. What Chris Rock is doing now, what DL is doing now, what a lot of the comedians are doing political-wise, that satire, George Carlin. The 7 words you can't say on TV, all of that stuff. George Carlin is I saw one of his last specials on HBO before he passed away.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
And he was like 150 years old when he was doing it. And he was still dope. George,
he was a comedian to me that got it. You know, some comedians, depending on when they were coming up, they get stuck in that I'm a white comedian, I'm a black comedian,
and I have to
He was a people's comedian because he had a lot of black material.
He definitely did.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Jerry Seinfeld suffered from.
Yeah. Absolutely.
As to where George Carlin didn't let that stop him.
Mm-hmm.
If you will watch a George Carlin show and you pan the crowd, there's a bunch of black people in there.
A lot of black people.
Because George Carlin was just that funny.
Mm-hmm.
The dude was he was relatable to any demographic. George Carlin was dope.
Okay.
He don't. That's another one who don't get enough credit. But if you were to Google, you know, I don't know, top comedians, best comedians of all time, his name gonna come up.
So my 5 is Carlin, Rock, Richard, Eddie, Chappelle.
I agree with you on 4 of those.
Okay.
I take Carlin out. He's definitely still gonna make my top 10. He's got to be in that 6, 7, 8 range.
Bernie's in my 6. That's my 6.
That's one I'm taking out.
Okay.
So Bernie,
they pretty much interchangeable.
They are.
So
they are. I dig that. Bernie. I'm probably a little biased because again he reminds me of my father and he's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Bernie makes my 5 off of that.
Okay.
Bernie makes my 5.
So you got Bernie at 5.
Bernie probably at Bernie at 5. I can't put him over Chris Rock. Bernie at 5, Rock at 4, Richard at 3, Eddie 2, Chappelle 1.
I ain't mad at that.
Chappelle 1.
I ain't mad at that. Good solid list.
It is, man. So if it's anybody you felt like we didn't put in or we didn't bring up, put them in the comments. Let us know who you got. Rank your top 5. Let us know if your list changes up or whatever.
Let them know where they can follow us at.
Oh, you can definitely follow us on Instagram, Wrap Up Podcast. You can follow us on iTunes. The Wrap Up Podcast.
The Wrap Up Podcast. Hyphen in between wrapping up.
Yeah, man. You can definitely hit us up on there. We're gonna be on
Google Play.
Same way. The Wrap Up Podcast. Hyphen in between wrapping up. And we'll definitely have them in the description. In the YouTube video.
YouTube, the Wrap Up Pod.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
If you want to watch the video.
Yeah. We'll usually be on iTunes and Google Play before, and then the video hit a few days after, man. But definitely appreciate y'all rocking with us. Keep watching, man. We gonna have more content for you as we continue this journey, yo.
Yep. One love.
Peace.